Hi there, Mrs. Rachel Smith doing Forest School at Home. So we've had our treasure hunt and we've collected all our things. So here we go, we've got our moss, we've got our sticks, we've got our flowers, our stones, our mud and our special egg that we found. So now what we're going to do is put it all together in our Easter garden. So I've got my tray here. Because my tray's got holes in the bottom, I need to make it waterproof. So I'm going to use the foil and put it in the bottom of my Easter garden. So pull it off just a little bit longer than the box actually is. And push it in. Make sure it goes into all the corners. So it's good if it's a bit bigger than what you think. Okay, so there we go. That's my foil in the bottom. The next thing to do is put in my mud. So I collected a bit more mud here. So I've got my mud ball here. So here we go. There's my mud. And spread that out. Hopefully that will be enough. And the mud's going to keep all the things in my Easter garden alive, like the moss and the flowers. Okay, so there's my soil. Now, next thing I think I'll do is I'll put some stones in. So I've collected a few more, and these ones I've washed them off a little bit so you can see the lovely patterns. So I've just got to work out where I'm going to put those. Okay, so there's my pebbles in there. I've got some moss. Push that into the ground. There we go. So you can see the roots underneath. So if I put it back in the soil, it'll carry on growing. And if you look, I've got a little primrose there. So if I put that in, it'll carry on growing as well. So I've got some greenery. Now if I need some more, I can always go and get some more bits and pieces. Now remember, I want to leave a space so that I can sow my seeds. So if you've got some seeds to sow, so I'm going to take my seeds, and they're quite small seeds. There we go. And I'm going to take a pinch, and I'm going to sprinkle them like you would do if you were putting sprinkles on top of a cupcake. We need to make some crosses, don't we? So what are we making our crosses out of? We're going to use the sticks. I've got some string here, so cut your string, and you're going to fold it over there, and you're going to make it go through the hole. Like that, so making a loop. I'm going to put my thumb in there, because what I'm going to do then is where my thumb is, I'm going to stick the stick, the long one. Okay, so we've got a stick like that, and then my other stick, the one that's going across, I'm going to tie that on like this. Okay, and I'm flip it over, tie it again, and then I'm going to snip that off with my scissors. There we go. And I put that in my Easter garden, so I push it into the soil. And what I might do, just to make sure it stays upright, is put some stones around it just to hold it. So there's my cross. I've got my egg. Now, I need something else to go on my Easter garden. And what's missing is a cave, because Jesus' tomb was actually a cave. And at Easter time, we have chocolate eggs which are hollow in the middle, and they're hollow in the middle because they're supposed to be like Jesus's tomb being empty. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our special egg to make our tomb. So what we're going to do is, because we've boiled our egg, is we're going to cut it in half like this. So ready? So what you have to, you might need an adult to help you here. So give it a tap, and then we're going to cut it through just as you would if you were eating a boiled egg. So there we go. There's the inside of my egg. But it's not a cave yet, is it? Because there's lots of egg in it. So what you can do is eat your egg. So be careful not to crack the shell if you can. And what I'm left with is an empty shell. I need to make it into a cave, so I'm going to gently put it underneath the moss like this. So you can kind of still see it. So there is my cave, my tomb for Jesus. And I need to have a door for my tomb. So I'm going to carry on eating my egg. And that can be the door for my tomb. So come Easter, what you need to do is open up your door of your tomb, because Jesus is risen. Now that I put my tomb in, I'm just going to put my flowers in. And you can add as many flowers as you want to, really up to you. So there are my flowers in my Easter garden. I might put a few more in later, and I need to put a bit more soil down, don't I? What you need to remember about your Easter garden is because you've got these seeds here, you're going to have to water it. And you've got your foil inside, so the water's not going to come through the holes in the bottom of your tray. I've been working on my Easter garden. So we had the original one where I put in my my soil and done my seeds and everything else. But I've been adding some extra bits and pieces. And what I thought would be a nice idea is if I added some of the bits that we've done over this term at Forest School. So I'm going to talk you through what I've added. Let me see now. I've got some buds here from when we went on our springtime walk. And these are hazel. I've got my catkins here. Remember those? And some ivy. I've got my beech nuts that we found in the woods. I've also got my maple seeds that I've put in into like a bit of like a fence. And here I've got a piece of plastic and I've drawn on it to look like our ice sculptures that we made. Remember, we put the leaves inside in the water and then froze it. We had our ice sculptures. And down here, I've got my nest that I made. I put some blue eggs in there. So I think those are blackbird eggs. And then here we have our mud balls that we made for our noughts and crosses. I've got my spring flowers here, and what I did with the spring flowers is I got a snail shell like this, and I made sure it didn't have any cracks in it, and I put some water inside, and I've used it like a little pot to put my flowers in, so they're all keeping nice and fresh. I've got my hazelnut shell there, and I've got some silver birch bark, this beautiful curly bark, some rose hips. I've got some pebbles, some lichen or lichen, whichever way you want to say it. And we've got some pine needles here. I've put them down for a path. And I've got some pine trees. And I've also got these ones, which are my oak leaves and my beech leaves. I've got a little silver birch leaf here and the silver birch catkins and even a tiny bit of silver birch bark, because we did some rubbings, didn't we? And I've used some bracken here on the top of my tomb that I've made to keep it dry, like we do with our dens. So if we're den building, you can put bracken over the top to keep it nice and dry. And obviously we've got our egg that we've cooked. We can cook that on the campfire when we get back to Forest School. We did lashing as well, didn't we? So that's tying the cross together there. So there are loads and loads of things in there that you can collect about what we've done in Forest School this term. So I think we've covered loads of stuff. Love to see what your Easter gardens look like. Would you send some photos? Because that'd be really nice. So if you send them to your class teachers, then they can send them on to me and I can have a look and see what you did for your Easter garden.